You want to hear about the time I built a barn and accidentally blew up an entire HOA's house of cards? Buckle up, because this isn't one of those. We had a little misunderstanding over a fence stories. This is war with property lines, power plays, and a president named Karen who thought bylaws could beat a deed. Spoiler alert, she picked the wrong neighbor. So picture this, I'm standing in a courtroom map up on the big screen, the judge staring down at us over his glasses. "Mr. DuPont, are you telling me Fremont Estates built on your land?" he says, and the whole room goes dead silent. Karen Randall, queen of the clipboard, stops smiling for the first time all day. And I just point at that glowing red line on the map thinking, you want to play games? Let's play. But let me back up a sec, because the real mess started years before that moment. See, I'd just taken title to our family's last 5 acres little slice of country right outside the city. All we had separating us from Fremont Estates was a beat-up wire fence sagging like a tired old man after a long day. That land was my inheritance, generations of hard work, sweat, and stories all packed into that patch of grass and oak. My dream, build a barn. Not just any barn, a classic red beauty, a place for projects, maybe even a couple of good guys to help out. Something to pass down, you know. We did everything by the book. My wife Trudy spent weeks fighting the county's permit website. I swear you need a degree in cryptography just to get an inspection scheduled. But she did it, plan stamped, permits in hand, the whole works. First time the concrete poured for the foundation, I felt this old pride like when I built our dining table out of a single slab of oak. Real heavy, earned. That's when she appeared, Karen Randall. Didn't drive, didn't wave from the sidewalk. Just marched up through the weeds, purple polo, tucked into khakis, clutching that clipboard like it was a badge. "Excuse me?" she called out, voice sharp as a tack. I was halfway up a ladder, almost dropped my hammer. My crew looked at me, eyes wide. Show was on. She had that look like she'd sniffed something rotten and figured I was to blame. "You need to stop all construction immediately," she barked. I wiped the sawdust off my jeans, tried to keep my voice even. Trudy, always the smart one, quietly turned her phone on in her pocket just in case. "I'm Karen Randall, president of the Fremont HOA," she announced, expecting applause. "And this structure is being built on HOA common area." I nearly laughed. "Ma'am, with all due respect, this is my property. I've got a deed, I've got a county survey, and it's all filed." She snorted, waving a piece of paper with big red letters. "Stop work order at me. Not a county seal in sight. Might as well have been a grocery list." I gave her my best thanks for the effort smile. "That's a nice piece of paper, Karen, but unless the county sent it, we're good." My crew went back to work. Karen turned blotchy red. Trudy smiled sweet as honey, but told her, "You're trespassing. Kindly return to your side of that very old, very crooked fence." Karen spat out, "You have no idea who you're dealing with. The HOA has very deep pockets." I nodded like it was a threat. Truth is, I wasn't scared, but the way she looked at that barn. Let's just say I knew the fake stop work order was just the opening volley. A few days of uneasy quiet passed almost too quiet. I joked about seeing binoculars poking out from behind the shrubs. We pressed on. Framing finished. Then delivery day, custom siding and heavy-duty roofing, the expensive stuff coming in at 8 a.m. I'm out there by 7:30, coffee in hand. But at 8:15, my phone rings. "Can't get down your road, boss. There's a tow truck blocking the entrance." I hustled down, and sure enough, greasy tow truck nose pointed right at my driveway, blocking everything but a bicycle. And there she was, Karen, smug as ever, arms crossed, clipboard in hand. "Vehicle appears to be disabled," she crooned. "A good citizen called it in." The tow driver wouldn't meet my eye, just stared at his dash, waiting for the word. Delivery guy, already losing patience, says he's got 15 minutes before he's out, and I'm on the hook for a huge return fee. I saw red. This was a setup, plain as day. "Move the truck, Karen." She just smiled. "It's out of my hands." Trudy arrived, phone. Out recording in the open now. "Karen, we have you on video instructing this driver to block our access." That's tortious interference. Karen blinked, almost slipped, but doubled down. Simple breakdown, she lied. Trudy, unfazed, called the sheriff right there and then. We'll be seeking damages, she said, cool as a cucumber. The tow driver finally buckled, "Lady, I ain't losing my license for this," and moved his truck. We got the delivery but lost nearly 2 hours and over $1,000 in fees, plus a week's delay. Sitting at the kitchen table that night, Trudy's eyes went hard. This isn't just annoying Sam. She's willing to cost us real money. That was escalation. After that, we went on defense. Trudy ordered night vision security cameras and a motion-activated sprinkler system. No joke, commercial grade, the kind that'll knock a raccoon out of its socks. I spent a weekend wiring up the barn like Fort Knox. A week of nothing but raccoons on camera, and I started to wonder if we were being paranoid. Then 2 a.m., phones buzz, a live feed of 2 guys in yellow vests, bolt cutters in hand, trying to break our chain. Trudy grinned. Petty revenge is a dish best served cold and wet. She hit the sprinklers. Those guys took a faceful of high-pressure water and fled like drowned rats, leaving their bolt cutters behind. We called the sheriff. Deputy watched the video, shook his head, and told us to get a survey done, make the boundary ironclad. Trudy found a top-notch surveyor, Mr. Harrison GPS drones, even hunting for markers from the 1800s. Expensive, but necessary. While we waited, a massive storm rolled through, snapping the old fence. Next morning, Fremont Estates email. Due to storm activity, a natural access point has opened. Residents are free to use this expanded area for recreation. My jaw dropped. Karen had invited the neighborhood to treat our land like a public park. Sure enough, folks poured in, dogs, kids, the works. I put up no trespassing signs, but they treated them like decorations. Then one of Karen's loyalists got in my face, let his dogs dig up my new grass, and when I told him to leave, he shoved me hard. If Trudy hadn't been recording, who knows what story he'd have told. Deputy came, watched the footage, and warned them next time it's assault charges. Finally, survey results came in. Our property line was 30 feet further into Fremont Estates than anyone thought. Karen's so-called common area. Legally, it was ours. Even better, an anonymous email landed in our inbox. Attachments included HOA meeting minutes from 2 years ago, where Karen admitted the boundary was wrong and chose to cover it up, plus a site plan with the developer's own handwriting, proposed boundary versus original parcel line. They'd been lying the whole time. Trudy put together a drone video and slideshow proof so clear even the HOA's pet goldfish could understand it. Right then, Karen, not knowing we had all this, called a special town hall to raise $25,000 for a lawsuit against us, plus a demand letter for destroying their fence. She wanted to publicly shame us. Instead, she walked into an ambush. At the meeting, Karen painted us as villains. When it was our turn, Trudy presented our permits, the county ordinances, the trespass emails, the video of the shove and boom, the certified survey. The crowd flipped. Phones came out. Karen panicked. Trudy calmly offered to show the internal documents and drone footage. Karen tried to shut the meeting down, but the damage was done. Next stop, court. Our lawyer, David, built a wall of evidence, old deeds, permits, the new survey, drone photos, every nasty email. In court, Karen's lawyer waived HOA maps and bylaws, but David just presented the facts. The big reveal. Our interactive digital map showed the true line cutting through their precious playground, 3 backyards, even under a pool. Karen's side fell apart in seconds. The judge was brutal, tossed the HOA's lawsuit, ordered them to pay all our legal fees plus damages for the blockade, and hit them with the max penalty for a frivolous suit. Permanent cease and desist against Karen and the board. Then the kicker, 3 houses and the playground were sitting on our land. I could have made them tear it all down, but instead I offered to negotiate easements at fair market value. The judge approved. The neighbors thanked us, and Karen, She got voted out, sued by the very resident she claimed to protect, and moved out in disgrace. We finished the barn. First thing I built was a frame for the judge's order, hung it right by the door. Then welded a custom sign for our gate, the DuPonts. Measure twice, trespass never. Every morning I see it and smile. So let me ask you, if you were in my boots, would you have gone as far? Ever tangled with an HOA or a neighbor who thought they were above the law? Drop your wildest property line war story in the comments. Let's hear about the time you stood your ground and proved that the truth wins if you've got the guts to fight for it. And if you made it this far, hit that like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on justice, right and wrong, or just tell me about the craziest neighbor you ever had. Because out here, sometimes the only thing stronger than power is proof.